Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel General Hospital today. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. In the bustling heart of Port Charles, where secrets simmered like coffee in a hospital break room and alliances shifted faster than the tides on the docks, Damien Spinelli found himself once again entangled in a web of intrigue that threatened the people he held most dear. Spinelli, the brilliant hacker known to his friends as the Jackal, had always prided himself on his ability to uncover hidden truths buried deep within digital fortresses. But this time the danger wasn't lurking in code or firewalls. It was poisoning the very air around Maxie Jones, his ex-wife, the mother of his child, and the woman who still held a piece of his heart despite the years and heartaches that had passed between them. It started innocently enough, or so it seemed. Maxie had been riding high on the success of Deception, the cosmetics company she co-owned with a ragtag group of ambitious women. Lucy Coe with her flair for drama, Brooklyn Quartermain the scheming heiress, and Tracy Quartermain the no-nonsense matriarch. They had turned Deception into a powerhouse. But success came with shadows, and those shadows had names like Sonny Corinthos and Jen Sidwell. Sonny, the notorious mob boss, had funneled dirty money into the company, a fact that Maxie had stumbled upon during a late-night audit. She wanted to come clean to report it to the authorities, but the others voted her down. "It's business, Maxie," Lucy had said with a wave of her manicured hand. "We handle it our way." Maxie, ever the moral compass in a town full of bent needles, couldn't let it go. She confided in her mother, Felicia Scorpio, and even hinted at it to her stepfather, Max Scorpio, the police commissioner. But before she could act, disaster struck. During a live segment on the Home and Heart Shopping channel, Maxie was demonstrating Deception's new night cream, a luxurious blend infused with rare minerals that promise to erase years from your face. She applied it generously, smiling for the cameras, her blonde hair catching the studio lights. Then her world tilted. Chest pains, shortness of breath. She collapsed right there on set, clutching her heart as the audience gasped and the cameras rolled on. The news hit Port Charles like a thunderclap. Spinelli was at his computer in the Quartermain mansion, where he often worked freelance gigs for Jason Morgan, when he got the call from Georgie, their daughter. "Dad, Mom's in the hospital. Something happened on TV." His heart raced as he dashed to General Hospital, his mind already spinning theories. By the time he arrived, the waiting room was packed. Felicia pacing, Mac barking orders into his phone, and Lucas Jones, Maxie's cousin and the doctor on duty, looking grave as he emerged from the ER. "She's stable for now," Lucas said, his voice steady but his eyes betraying exhaustion. "It looked like a heart attack at first, but we're running tests. There's an anomaly in her blood, an enzyme we've never seen before." Spinelli's hacker instincts kicked in immediately. An unknown enzyme? That screamed foul play. He pulled Lucas aside. "Stone Cold's kin," he whispered, using his nickname for Jason's relatives. "Permit the Jackal to assist. I can analyze the data, cross-reference with medical databases." Lucas hesitated but nodded. "Just keep it quiet, Spinelli. We don't need panic." As the hours ticked by, Maxie slipped into a coma. Her vital signs were steady, but she wouldn't wake. The family gathered around her bed, holding vigils. Spinelli sat by her side, holding her hand, whispering promises to Georgie and James, Maxie's son with the late Nathan West. Or so everyone thought Nathan was late. But that was another twist in Port Charles's endless drama, one that would soon intersect with this nightmare. Spinelli couldn't sit idle. Back at his setup, he dove into the digital abyss. First, he hacked into the hospital's lab results. The enzyme was synthetic, not natural. It mimicked a neurotoxin, slowing the heart and inducing a death-like state. His mind flashed back to years ago, to 2022, when Britt Westbourne had died from a similar poison, snake venom laced on the hook killer's weapon. But Britt's death had been faked, or so rumors whispered. And who was behind that? Peter August, the psychopathic heir to Faison, who had terrorized Port Charles for years. Peter. The name sent chills down Spinelli's spine. Peter had poisoned Maxie once before, back in 2018 during his reign of terror. It was part of his obsessive plot to control her, to bind her to him through their child, Louise, now Bailey. Maxie had barely survived, giving birth in the woods, faking amnesia to escape his clutches. Peter was supposed to be dead, killed by Felicia in self-defense. But in poor Charles, death was rarely permanent. Could it be? Spinelli muttered to himself, his fingers flying over the keyboard. He pulled up old files from the WSB, World Security Bureau, courtesy of a backdoor he'd left open years ago. There it was. Peter's body had never been autopsied properly, too much chaos in the aftermath, and recent chatter in underground forums hinted at a shadowy figure called he, pulling strings from a remote island resort called Five Poppies. Connecting the dots, Spinelli traced the deception investment. Sonny's money was dirty, laundered through African diamond mines controlled by Jens Sidwell. Sidwell, the ruthless arms dealer, had a grudge against Sonny and was in town causing havoc. But why target Maxie? She was the whistleblower. If Sidwell wanted to silence her about the bad money, poisoning the face cream was a perfect, deniable method. But the enzyme matched Peter's old formula. Was Sidwell working with Peter? Or was Peter using Sidwell as a pawn in a larger evil plot to reclaim Maxie? Spinelli's investigation deepened. He enlisted help from Sam McCall, his old flame and a private investigator. Spinelli, if Peter's alive, this is bad, Sam said over coffee at Kelly's. He faked Britt's death to force her to work on some cure or weapon. What if he's doing the same with Maxie? Precisely my fear, Spinelli replied. The Jackal must infiltrate Sidwell's network. Using his skills, Spinelli hacked Sidwell's encrypted emails. There it was. Correspondence with a contact listed as P.A. Peter August. Instructions to taint the cream with the serum, the same one used on Britt. The goal? Fake Maxie's death, spirit her away to Five Poppies, where Peter could revive her and hold her captive, forcing her back into his twisted family fantasy. It was an evil plot of Shakespearean proportions. Poison her a second time, using the same method that had nearly killed her before, all to possess her forever. Spinelli's discovery came at a cost. As he downloaded the files, alarms tripped. Sidwell's goons were on to him. That night, as he left the Quartermain gatehouse, a black SUV screeched up. Two thugs dragged him in, blindfolding him. Mr. Sidwell wants a word, one growled. Tied to a chair in a warehouse on the docks, Spinelli faced Sidwell himself. A suave, dangerous man with a diamond pinky ring. You poke your nose where it doesn't belong, hacker. The Jackal fears no predator, Spinelli bluffed. Release Maxie, or the authorities will know everything. Sidwell laughed. She's already gone. Transported last night. Her coma is the perfect cover. Spinelli's heart sank. But he had a tracker in his shoe, a gadget from his days with Jason. He activated it silently. Meanwhile, back at the hospital, chaos erupted. Maxie's bed was empty. She's been kidnapped, Felicia cried. Mac mobilized the PCPD. Jason, hearing from Sam, geared up for a rescue. And in a shocking twist, Nathan West burst into the room. What's happened to Maxie? Nathan, presumed dead since 2018, shot by his own father Faison. But he'd been in witness protection, arranged by the WSB to take down bigger threats. His return was timed perfectly or suspiciously. Brother in arms, Spinelli said later, after Jason rescued him from the warehouse. Nathan's timing convenient. Together they pieced it. Nathan had been undercover, infiltrating Peter's network. He knew about the plot but couldn't blow his cover until now. The group, Spinelli, Jason, Sam, Nathan, Mac, planned a raid on Sidwell's yacht, where Maxie was being held before transport to the island. The confrontation was intense. Gunfire echoed over the water. Spinelli, not a fighter, used drones to disable security. Jason took down goons. Nathan faced Sidwell. This ends now. In the hold, they found Maxie, still comatose from the poison. But Spinelli had the antidote formula from the hacked files a counteragent Britt had developed. Back at GH, Lucas administered it. Maxie stirred, her eyes fluttering open. Spinelli. Nathan. The love triangle ignited. Nathan, her true love, back from the dead. Spinelli, the steadfast father figure. But first, the evil plot was thwarted. Sidwell arrested. Peter's location exposed for a future takedown. As Maxie recovered, she thanked Spinelli. You discovered it all. Saved me again. The Jackal would do anything for you, he said, bittersweet. But with Nathan's return, Spinelli stepped back, finding solace in his bond with Lulu Spencer, who had her own coma recovery story. Port Charles breathed easier, but shadows lingered. Peter was still out there, plotting his next move. The poison might be neutralized, but the evil never truly died. The hum of the Port Charles night was soft, but for Damien Spinelli it buzzed with unease. The hacker-turned-hero had spent most of his day helping Sam track a financial trail connected to some shady dealings at Aurora Media. But now, sitting in his apartment with his laptop open and his fingers hovering over the keys, his thoughts were elsewhere. Something about Maxie had been gnawing at him all week. He'd seen her yesterday at the Metro Court, smiling that radiant smile she'd perfected, the one that hid exhaustion, worry, and lately something darker. She'd been jittery, pale, and more forgetful than usual. When he brought it up, she brushed him off with her usual humor. "Spinelli, I'm fine. Maybe I just need more sleep. 3 kids, a full-time job, and this city's constant chaos. I'd say I'm doing great." But Spinelli wasn't convinced. He knew Maxie better than anyone. He knew when she was covering something up, and the spark in her blue eyes had dimmed, ever so slightly. Tonight he decided to dig deeper. He wasn't just a friend anymore. He was a man with a purpose, and that purpose was Maxie Jones. As his computer pinged, Spinelli ran a quick trace through Maxie's recent communications. He hated doing it. Invading her privacy wasn't his style anymore. But he couldn't shake the feeling that something sinister was happening. He found nothing alarming at first, just emails from deception, text reminders for kids' school events, and a few unanswered messages from him. Then one thing caught his eye. A digital receipt from a prescription pickup at General Hospital. It wasn't for antibiotics or cold medicine. It was a compound medication he didn't recognize. Spinelli's brows furrowed. He cross-referenced the drug name, dimethoxyprine hydrochloride. His heart began to race when he read the side effects. Dizziness, fatigue, heart palpitations. Why would Maxie be taking something like this? Spinelli's mind raced back to months ago, when Maxie had first fallen ill. The doctors had said it was stress-induced, maybe a virus. She'd recovered, but the timing had been odd. She'd been sick right when Deception was about to sign a massive endorsement deal. Now it was happening again. She was pale, anxious, weak. The thought hit him like a freight train. What if Maxie's been poisoned again? Spinelli froze. The memory of the last time she'd been poisoned years ago, when Peter August had manipulated her life into chaos, still haunted him. He'd sworn to himself he'd never let anyone hurt her again. Grabbing his phone, Spinelli called Sam a call. She picked up on the second ring. "Spinelli? What's wrong? You sound like you've seen a ghost. I fear that my beloved Maximista may be in peril once more," he said, his voice trembling. "I suspect foul play of the most heinous kind, poisoning." Sam sighed, used to his dramatics, but the panic in his tone made her sit up. Spinelli slowed down. "What makes you think Maxie's been poisoned?" He explained what he'd found, every digital breadcrumb leading to that strange prescription. Sam listened carefully, her mind already spinning. "Okay," she said finally. "Meet me at GH. If there's even a chance Maxie's being drugged again, we need to find out who's behind it, and fast." Spinelli didn't need to be told twice. When he arrived at General Hospital, the sterile brightness made him flinch. Maxie was there, sitting on an exam bed, chatting nervously with Elizabeth Weber, who was reviewing her chart. She looked even paler than he remembered, her lips almost colorless. "Spinelli," she said, startled as he entered. "What are you doing here?" He tried to play it cool, but his voice wavered. I happened to be in the area and thought perhaps a comforting visit was in order." Elizabeth gave him a polite smile before excusing herself. When she was gone, Maxie tilted her head, her suspicion soft but sharp. "Okay, talk. You're here for a reason." Spinelli hesitated. "Maximista, you've not been feeling yourself lately, have you?" Maxie laughed lightly, but the sound lacked conviction. "You sound like my mother." He moved closer, his voice gentle. "I mean it, Maxie. I've noticed things. You're tired, distracted, forgetting details. And the medication." Her eyes widened. "You've been looking through my stuff?" He swallowed. "I did. And I am sorry. But I only did so because I fear you are in danger again." Her face softened. "Danger? Spinelli, no. It's nothing like that. The doctor said it's a vitamin imbalance. He wasn't buying it. Then why does your prescription list a compound not approved for that purpose? The color drained from her face. What are you talking about? Before Spinelli could answer, the door opened and Dr. Austin Gatlin Holt entered. His eyes flicked between them, his smile tight. Everything okay in here? He asked, his tone casual, maybe too casual. Spinelli's instincts went on high alert. He remembered Austin's past, his mysterious ties to the Quartermaines, his shady disappearances. Just checking on a friend, Spinelli said evenly. Austin nodded. Well, Maxie's in good hands. We've run all the tests. I'll review her results shortly. But Spinelli didn't miss the way Austin avoided eye contact as he left the room. Something was definitely wrong. As Maxie leaned back on the bed, rubbing her temples, Spinelli made a silent vow. He wasn't leaving until he found out the truth, even if it meant uncovering a plot darker than anything Port Charles had seen in years. Yet, in the ever-shifting sands of Port Charles, death is seldom final. Whispers of Peter's survival persist, fueled by underground chatter and unresolved plot threads. Recent speculations suggest he might return, perhaps through cloning, twin twists, or sheer villainous resilience, to deliver a message or reignite old feuds. His backstory, a blend of inherited evil and personal trauma, serves as a cautionary tale. The sins of the fathers often poison the sons, creating monsters who perpetuate the cycle. Peter's life was a quest for identity amid rejection, but his choices turned that quest into a nightmare for those around him. In the annals of General Hospital, he stands as a testament to the enduring power of family curses, where love twists into obsession and redemption remains just out of reach. One of the most chilling aspects of Peter's backstory is his mastery of deception through science and psychology. Drawing from his alliances with Helena and access to Faison's resources, Peter developed or acquired synthetic toxins capable of inducing comas or simulating death. In 2018, he poisoned Maxie as part of a deranged plan to bind her to him, forcing her into a vulnerable state where she depended on him for survival. This incident, which occurred during her pregnancy, led to a dramatic birth in the woods and Maxie's feigned amnesia to escape his clutches. Peter's obsession stemmed from his own abandoned childhood. He craved the family he never had, projecting his unmet needs onto Maxie and their child. This cycle of abuse extended to others. He manipulated Nina Reeves, blackmailed Britt Westbourne, faking her death with a similar poison, and even targeted his half-brother Nathan West, whom he envied for having the normal life Peter was denied.